Oh yes! Happy Wednesday, everyone. It's all about science. This is Ekse right on Cape Town TV. Inkubo yako, inkubo yamu, inkubo yetu songe. We're taking all the way up until 5 p.m. Coming up, Jay, but known as Filmmaker.
And I'm Kim Blanché, guys, and today we have a very, very exciting and enthusiastic program lined up for you. We have exciting presenters here also. And first we have SciTech news, obviously.
Definitely.
And then we also have three very exciting inserts, which are very informative and extremely important.
Yes. Welcome to the show, everybody. It's a Wednesday. It's no manga business.
No manga.
Forward to it right till the hour 5. We go by the name of Ekse Live. But my name is Lama Dimun. You can follow us on Twitter. It's Ekse_Live on Facebook. It's Ekse on Cape Town TV. On Facebook, Ekse on Cape Town TV. I said that. And then on YouTube, we go by the same name. 021-448-0448 is that number to dial to get in contact with us. Later on today, Sinalo's Woman Crush Wednesday is Candy, better known as Tsamandebele. Well, she was born in a musical family. She's acting, she's presenting, she's a musical legend who signed under Ikalawa Jasmine, and today she's going to perform her latest single, Hupenyu Unenge Viri, meaning that life is like a wheel. Excited for that.
Definitely, man. Remember, this week we're celebrating Science Week. If there's any interesting interventions and anything that is interesting about the world of science and you'd like to share with us, remember to share those on our social media platforms. We are talking all things science today and, of course, technology.
We also have Misha Teasdale, who is the CEO, or should I say
Tree-E-O
of Greenpop, and they focus on deforestation and the ecosystem and how to really put back into the ecosystem and make sure that nature is good so that we can continue taking from nature and that nature can continue giving to us.
Remember that nature has given you talent, and we're talking about people who are making strides in the music industry, and we're celebrating you. Every Friday we've got our top 3, and it's there this afternoon. Everybody needs to go there and vote for Sianda Rikla for
spicy.
Oh yeah. And then there's Voodoo World by Dope vs. Yellow Angel, and then we've got the other one that I'm going to mention later because Milikaya is anxious to tell you the news with SciTech News. Don't go too far. This is Ekse Live, and welcome to our Wednesday edition.
Tibambe ngazo zozibini kwigqiza labasasazi lethu elichubekileyo ulamalimu noSinalo Jonas no Kim Blanché. Ndinamkele kwidesika yendaba ezingenzululwazi nobuchwepheshe bale mihla. Inqaku lokuqala, unjingalwazi uSalim Abdul Karim oyinzululwazi kunye nomphandi ophambili ngesifo sikagawulayo eMzantsi Afrika unyulwe njengelungu leRoyal Society ehlonitshwayo eLondon. Le Royal Society yasekwa ngonyaka ka-1660 kwaye ngowona mnyango wezemfundo mdala kwicandelo lezinzululwazi elithi libandakanye inkcubabuchopho kwezenzululwazi eziphuma kumazwe ahlukeneyo kwiinkulungwane ezine ezidlulileyo. Igama likaKarim ngoku liza kubhalwa kwincwadi zembali ecaleni kwenzululwazi eziphume izandla ehlabathini ezinjengosir Isaac Newton, uCharles Darwin kunye noAlbert Einstein ukukhankanya abambalwa ngokokutsho kweSouth African Medical Council. Umbutho iRoyal Society lulolwamano oluzimele geqe olwenziwe zezona nzululwazi zibalaseleyo, injineli kunye noomakhwekhwetha kwezobuchwepheshe abaphuma United Kingdom kunye neCommonwealth. Kulombutho kukho malunga ne-600,000 ukutsho labantu ekuquka kubo abathi bawongwa ngewonga leNobel abangama-80. Kule Royal Society rhoqo ngonyaka kuthi kunyulwe amalungu angama-52 alishumi kuwo ingabemi bangaphandle belizwe lase-United Kingdom kwango afikelela kumakhulu asixhenxe athi afake izicelo. Inqaku lesibini, ingxowa-mali ye-World Wildlife Fund South Africa isungule iprojekthi yezenzululwazi ukuze baqonde ukuba inkqubo yamanzi aseKapa ahamba phantsi komhlaba kwenzeka ntoni na kuyo. Ngexesha kugquba imbalela kunyaka ophelileyo kwiphondo iNtshona Koloni, isixeko saseKapa saye satshintsha sasebenzisa mithombo imbi yokufumana amanzi ezinje ngegrey water, amanzi emvula kunye namanzi afumaneka phantsi komhlaba. Amanzi afumaneka ngaphantsi komhlaba sisibonelelo esifihlakeleyo kwaye kuyimigudu ukuwafunxa ukuze afumaneke. Ukuzokuthi ga ngoku akukacaci kwakuba abahlali besixeko iKapa ukuba ingabe uninzi lwabo belusebenzisa lamanzi afumaneka ngaphantsi komhlaba ngokomlinganiselo obekiweyo okanye ngendlela ethi yenze ukufumaneka kwawo lamanzi abe nokunqongophala kwixesha elide. Into yaziwayo kukuba isixeko seKapa sakuphinda sidinge amanzi afumaneka phantsi komhlaba kwaye ngeyona ndlela enokuthi isetyenziswe ngexesha likaxakeka nelembalela. Kungenxa yoko iWorld Wildlife Fund South Africa ithe yatyumba iingcali zamanzi ezizothi zijonge ulwazi olukhoyo nokwakha iindawo zokufunxa lamanzi, ukuqala eNewlands nakude kufuphi nesikhululo senqwelo-moya esizinze kweli leKapa, iCape Town International Airport. Inqaku lokugqibela namhlanje, ihlabathi lijongene nengxaki yokugcwala kweplastiki kwiindawo abantu abahamba kuzo quna kumanxweme olwandle abathi baqubhe kuwo. Ityendyana leli loMzantsi Afrika uSibusiso Shabangu oneminyaka engama-27 ubudala, kuyo yonke loo nto ubone ithuba lokwenza imveliso yepetrol, ioil, igas, ukubalula ezimbalwa. uSibusiso uthatha iplastiki azipheke emlilweni obubushushu obufikelela kwi-400 degrees Celsius ukuze avelise ipetrol, idizili kunye negas. Okushiyekileyo emveni koko ukusebenzisa ukuvelisa ipolish kunye namakhandlela. Elityendyana linethemba lokuba izimveliso zakhe zakufumana inkxaso ukuze zivunyelwe ukuba zithengiswe ngokusemthethweni ngabo banamagunya okwenza njalo. Ukanti abantu bokuhlala bakungqinile okokuba izimveliso ziyasebenza kwaye bazokumxhasa ukumkhulisa. Ukanti nomasipala iNkomazi uthe uza kufaka isandla ukuze ancedakale uSibusise ukuze afezekise amaphupha wakhe wokuba nenkampani evelisa idiesel nepetrol, utshilo uCyril Ripinga ongusomlomo womasipala iNkomazi. Kukangako besinako kwidesika yeendaba ezingenzululwazi nobuchwephesha de kube lithuba elizayo kamnandi lamalimuni iintambo zezakho.
Well done, black boy, producing your own diesel, your own petrol, your own paraffin. I see business booming and the petrol going down by loads and loads of rands. Keep on making us proud. And if you've got people in your community that are doing best things, you can email us to ekse@capetowntv.org so that we do profile them. So those were the science news. They'll be back next week Wednesday with Umelikaya Mziba. That top three, it's Wesley with I'm Sorry, Rikla with Inyaniso, as well as Yellow Angel. This is Dope Ngosi with Voodoo World. All you have to do is hop onto our Facebook fan page. You like and share the page, like and share the post, and then you comment with the name of the music video and tag your artist, and they could be #1 coming this Friday. And remember, on Friday we do have our listening sessions, and this coming Friday we've got Kasim, who is going to be performing hip-hop, and tomorrow we talk social issues with #Talk Thursday. And today we're busy carrying on with our #SciTech Wednesdays, so make sure that you follow us on Twitter. It's Ekse on Cape Town TV, and then Ekse on Cape Town TV or Facebook. Sinalo, how was the weekend?
Wow, my weekend was lit. You know, July is literally my birthday month.
Yeah.
So to close off my birthday month, my friends took me away for a weekend away. So I was there the whole entire weekend, just relaxing, being away from everyone, and just celebrating myself. How was your weekend, Kim?
I spent my weekend preparing, resting, and that's the only way to do things. Calm, cool, collected.
Welcome back to the #1 youth show in the motherland. We go by the name of Ekse Live. It's channel 263 on your DSTV. You can find us on YouTube, where we are Ekse on Cape Town TV. We're bringing everything that has to do with science. So if you're into science, well, today you are in treat because we've got Candy, we've got Dr. Kevin, we've got John Deloitte, we've got Misha, who's from Inatika, Greenpop So everything that has to do with nature, science, technology is where it's most hip and happening right here on Ekse. Follow us on Twitter, it's Ekse_live. On Facebook, it's Ekse on Cape Town TV. Right now, we're going to head on to Dr. Kevin Winter, who is friends with Lisbik River. So do enjoy this one. And when we come back, we've got Mischa, so don't you go nowhere.
I'm currently standing with Kevin Winter from UCT, the University of Cape Town. We are standing alongside the beautiful Lisbik River at the Vineyard Hotel. Hi, Kevin, and welcome.
Thank you very much indeed.
So please, can you tell me a bit about the Friends of Lisbik? What is it about, and how can one get involved?
Yeah, the Friends of Lisbik is one of those neighborhood groups that started in 1991. Soon after the Earth Summit in Rio, and people were really frustrated that they couldn't get local action taking place in a river that actually was quite poor in terms of the pollution in the river, particularly plastics and plastic bags and what stormwater drains were delivering into the river. And so it started out of that, out of people being frustrated about what was going on. And a small little group got together and over the years have made quite an impact on this river. And now, in 2019, about 10 people are employed every day to clean up the river through private funding. So that's the biggest story that has emerged over almost 25, nearly 30 years. How do you get involved with things like this? I'm obviously a lecturer, and I was fascinated by the river that provided an opportunity for us to use as a student laboratory in the real world, and so we started to do lots of work in the river as a result. But more importantly, how do they find a point at which they can get involved in an organization? Most organizations, like the Friends of Lisbik, have a website, so that gives you at least a point of contact. And then the Friends of Lisbik is quite active, at least in the southern suburbs area, often with notices in local newspapers where cleanup events occur. And you've got to be brave, first of all, to say, okay, I'm going to come and do one of those cleanups. And once you do something in terms of putting your toe in the water, as it were, then a whole lot of new things start to arise and you start to build friends around that. So it's not easy to suddenly volunteer and thinking, what am I getting into? Yeah. But rather, you're going along to one particular event or a meeting or a talk, something that interests you, and you see it being advertised. You go along. If you have to go on your own, be brave. But start to go there because I'm going to make friends, and I'm going to see whether this really is an organization that helps me. So over the years, what we've done is run workshops, we've run school workshops, we've run adult walks and talks, we've done cleanups once a month. They're all places where you start with that opportunity. The website obviously helps first of all, and then you start to actually build that communication from there.
Do you have the website for me?
Yeah, the website is Friends of Lisbik, and it's abbreviated to fol.org.za.
Thank you so much. Can you please tell me about 2019? What is some significant research around the Lisbik River?
Yeah, we've got a goodie at this stage because we've been working at this for a while, and it's now starting to work very well for us in that we are monitoring the river using real-time instruments and sensors that enables us to see the information on the river on the back of our cell phones. Every 5 minutes, as the water flows through 3 monitoring points on this river, we're able to know what's going on in that river in terms of the pollution and the flow of the river. We need that because every now and again we get incidents, spills of, it could be either industry along the way, but particularly stormwater pipes that are broken, that start to actually deliver poor water, and sewage lines as well that are broken, that bring poor water quality into the river. And we need to be able to move quite quickly to stop that or to clean up that particular event with the help of the City Council, the municipality of Cape Town. So this is for us a big advancement to have eyes on the river that we can be alerted to when the water quality deteriorates like that. And it's so much more helpful than taking samples once a month, which gives us very little idea about what's going on.
I completely understand and I agree with you. And then can you tell me a bit about the Peninsula Paddle? What is it and how can someone get involved?
Yeah, so here's a fun thing we do every year, and we used to do it in June, close to Environmental Day, but our rainfall has shifted over the 10 years since we first started this. About 2010, when we started this idea, 4 of us got into canoes, kayaks, and we paddled from Muizenberg Beach through to Milnerton Beach on the other side. We didn't really know what we were getting into, and a lot of the time we actually couldn't paddle because the water was covered by weed, and it was just impossible. We were dragging our canoes behind us. And over the years after that, the city of Cape Town put together a mayoral fund, which is a part of the Extended Public Works program, and it employs almost 200 people to clean up rivers all around the Cape Town's waterways. And if you think of it, if there's 200 people employed like that, it means that there's money going into a household of 5 people. So just that alone is really exciting, that people are finding employment through the rehabilitation of river systems. So what we do every year is we take a group of between 80 and 100 people through the canals. It's grown so much we have to actually even stop the number of people that are coming with us. And we do sections of the river. And most of all what we do is, apart from paddling, which we can now paddle through all of the waterways quite comfortably, we even go out to sea and come in at Milnerton Lagoon, is to talk about the waterways. And we hold 2 very important things, ideas in our head, that the health of the city is seen in its waterways. In other words, everything that comes off the surface finds its way into the waterways and causes the kind of pollution that we see. And so that's the one thing, is the health of the city is seen in its waterways. And the second thing, it's a very important reason why we cross the whole of the Cape Town area. And we go through some quite terrible areas, in fact, or areas that are quite polluted in terms of the canals and so on. And we do that because we all are connected to the waterways. So the drainage on my house and whatever happens on the roads that I drive on all finds its way into the rivers. And if I throw bags and plastics and other things into the river, I'm connecting myself to that river, in this case, in a rather poor way. So the long term for the city of Cape Town is to try and look at its waterways and to see whether that can transform the city, so that we do have improved quality of waterways and better living spaces for people to live in, alongside some of these very, very poor environments on the Cape Flats, for instance. So it's trying to transcend through all kinds of suburbs that have been broken by the Apartheid Systems Group Areas Act.
Thank you so much, Kevin.
Great, pleasure.
Now that was a very, very informative insert by Dr. Kevin Winter, who is from the Friends of Lisbik and is also part of the University of Cape Town, telling us about the well-being of our rivers. And we know that it's so important to keep it clean and to keep it well looked after. And now we're also sitting with Mischa from Greenpop, and now we're talking about forests and not rivers anymore,
Yeah.
but still in the theme of keeping our ecosystems well looked after. Welcome.
Yes.
Thank you. Lovely to be here in the studio back again. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's an honor having you on the show. Talking about forest, an interesting fact that was founded last day, actually through research in August, is that the deforestation rates in Southern Africa is 5 times higher compared to other years. Why? What's happening? Why are we sitting on 5 times higher when it comes to deforestation?
I can't tell you I know all the facts,
Yeah.
but what I can tell you is that with the increase in population and more pressure on the land due to traditional farming techniques,
Yeah.
logging, production of charcoal as a means of cooking, etc., that obviously puts a lot more pressure on our ecosystems. And ultimately, that does increase the amount of land use in regards to forest systems. What often is happening as well is, if you're based in a developing country or developing continent, as in our context, a lot of people are not necessarily transitioning from the use of electricity or the use of non-traditional food systems like supermarkets, etc.
Yeah.
So because there's this heavy reliance on subsistence, that ultimately puts that pressure on the land in a much more considerable way. And then South Africa, or Africa itself, is one of the fastest growing populations in the world. That obviously also puts an extended increase in the demand for wood supply.
Yeah.
This 5 times you're speaking of, it's 5 times more than what it was estimated for it to happen. So what I want to find out is there a way that this could have been avoided? And if so, how?
I think there's various ways that we can avoid the use of wood materials in our day-to-day lifestyles. There are alternatives to cooking with wood or charcoal. Like you can cook with solar cookers, you can cook with biogas, which is very popular in certain places, especially when you have various alien vegetation which you can turn into a biogas. You can also make briquettes out of alien vegetation and wood mess from sawmills, etc. So that's one way that we can deal with some of the energy mix issues. Another thing is looking at traditional farming practices. Sure, a couple of decades ago or a century ago, when there was less pressure on the land, people could go onto the land, they could cut down the trees, they could farm, and then once that land was devoid of nutrients, they could move on. And the farmland would then regenerate back into an ecosystem. Unfortunately, there's so much pressure on the land these days that you need to have a more dynamic and more holistic approach to the way that the farming happens. And I think in order to get that balance, you actually need to integrate nature into your farming practices. So you look at the nitrogen fixing trees, you look at the ways that you can actually farm within a forest system rather than remove the forest. And actually, you'll probably find that you have better water retention, you'll have a reduction in the amount of wind that comes through that area, and so it's better for your crops. You can move your cattle through those areas, and the cattle could then get the benefits of the seed pods and some of the fodder from the natural vegetation that's occurring in those areas. So there's various ways that you can work with nature as opposed to against nature.
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
But I'm not being a devil's advocate or anything, but I wish to, well, I highly doubt that one wakes up and feel like, oh, I'm gonna chop another tree today so that I can add one to make 20 out of the 19 that I chopped yesterday. So would you blame it on ignorance, or is there a limited access to the type of things that we're talking about, like using solar systems and stuff like that? Because I believe that human beings, they fear losing the earth that they're living in. So if there are alternative ways of doing things, well, we can do those. Do we have access to this beautiful
information
and systems that you're talking about?
So I think a lot of the time it's cultural practices that haven't always been the primary practice that's happened, but sometimes it's been developed in that way, and that could be even a short-term development. You know, some of the things that were being grown right here in South Africa, known as traditional foods, are not actually that traditional. Potatoes, mealies, these kinds of things. 200 years ago, we weren't growing those foods. So our cultures do adapt to new systems. When it comes to understanding the way that we interact with our natural systems, yes, in some senses, there is some ignorance. And that's no issue of the people on the ground. It's just a case of we need to try and come up with some collective intelligence. We need to first of all be able to quantify the assets that we do have. And I believe that Africa has so much potential. And one of the challenges that happens in my experience is that people get told you're experiencing poverty. And because you get told that you're experiencing poverty, you start to make that your common narrative. That's your belief system because that's what you've been told. As opposed to saying you have forests and you have insects and you have bees and you have animals in this forest and you've got a doctor and a mechanic and a nurse. And if we bring these elements together, we can start creating solutions for some of the challenges that you're experiencing.
And create a better world. Let's talk about Greenpop. You guys are all about planting trees and making sure the environment is taken care of. Does planting trees help with climate change, and how does it help?
So recently, the United Nations put out a report that said one of our best chances that we have for mitigating the risks of an imbalanced climate is through planting of trees. The reality behind tree planting is that you're able to sequester carbon, you're able to restore degraded ecosystems, and you're also able to regenerate and kickstart hydrological cycles, which for us in South African terms is a big thing. We've been in this 5-year drought now.
Yeah.
It's not just happening in the Western Cape, it's in the Eastern Cape, it's in parts of Johannesburg and various other places in the country. That's largely to do with the fact that we have degraded our ecosystems. We're not getting as much filtration into our ecosystems that we used to. We don't have the same capacity to create the evapotranspiration because so much of our coastal ecosystems have been significantly degraded and converted into traditional agriculture, wheat, canola, and that by no means is capturing any of the water or allowing for any transpiration to kickstart those weather systems deeper into the countryside. Like
that sounds very interesting. We still have a lot of time to chat to you about climate change and how trees can be very helpful when it comes to climate change. But we're going to still talk to him. But right now, let's take a look at what happened when our team, Ekse team, had the honor and pleasure of attending the Restoration South Africa's Hydrological cycle talk with John D. Lou. Let's take a look at this.
Hi guys, it's Kim Blanché, and today we are at the Vineyard Hotel attending a talk by John D. Lou called For the Love of Water. Now this is all about South Africa's hydrological ecosystems as well as restoring the land. Let's find out more.
We need to train people to restore soils and propagate indigenous trees and use compost toilets. I went to a compost. Has anybody been to?
Hi guys, I'm standing next to John D. Lou and we are at the Vineyard Hotel. Now John D. Lou is an educator, filmmaker and ecologist. John has dedicated his life to land restoration and ecosystem rehabilitation. John, thank you so much for your talk. I personally felt very, very moved because I think as young people we never assume the responsibility for land rehabilitation, or we don't have the information or the access to the information. So thank you so much for enlightening me.
Thank you.
In simple terms, how can land restoration be described?
Well, I think the most important thing is to realize that science has progressed and we understand a lot about natural systems. So in the past we didn't know that much about the natural systems, and our agriculture and our infrastructure buildings and it was damaging. And now we have seen that when you damage these natural systems, the hydrological cycle, the water system, or the soil fertility, or you reduce the biodiversity, it has enormous impacts. And the climate is changing. We're seeing increased storms. We have desertification. We have giant wildfires. And so now we actually know what we need to do to restore it. So it is about basically the biodiversity, the biomass, and the organic layer, the organic matter. So we need to replace that. And if we work together to grow more plants to accumulate organic matter on the soil, we can change the surface temperatures, we can change the hydrological cycle, we can ensure food security. And it's something that we can all do. And if we're not doing it, what are we doing? So we think we're going shopping and that's somehow going to help us, but it won't. We need to restore the earth systems.
I'm standing here with Justin Friedman, who's a human nature restorer and also the founder of Flow, For the Love of Water. Now, Justin, can you tell me a bit about Flow and what is it that you guys do?
Yeah, so Flow was created back in 2010 in order to inspire deeper appreciation, understanding and respect for water. It's evolved over the years from media campaigns to then supporting projects out in informal settlements in association with Biomimicry South Africa. Biomimicry is bios is life and mimic is to imitate life. So how do we imitate the genius of nature to solve human challenges? And the three pillars are around inspire, enable and facilitate. Yeah. So the focus really now is stories of hope and showcasing stories of hope, and also helping to enable projects and facilitate gatherings like today.
Today we were at the Vineyard Hotel where we got to speak with ecologists, nature lovers, and this is where they all really come together. Now guys, it's up to us to take responsibility as young people to ensure that the land is restored and rehabilitated, and the responsibility really lies with us. For now, it's back to studio.
Yes, thank you, Kim, man. Mischa, quickly, under 50 seconds, you can tell us about the Festival of Action that you're working on. Right under 50.
Thank you. So we just recently got back from the garden route. There was a fire that went through there in 2017 and 2018, and 80,000 hectares of forest and community places burnt. And so over the last 2 years, we've been getting people from around the world to come and join us and help restore degraded landscapes in the garden route. It's been beautiful.
Wow, that happens annually, right?
It has.
That's great.
Cool stuff. We'll give you his details if you want to join this project over Ekse on Cape Town TV on our Facebook fan page. When we return, we've got Candy Tsamandebele performing for us. And she's going to be sitting in front of us about her album. Keep it Hey. Welcome back to the biggest, the baddest, and the most hip and happening show in the motherland. We go by the name of Ekse Live. You can tell by the grin on my face that I'm so excited. Excited is an understatement. Channel 263 on your DSTV is going bigger and better each and every time. Tell a friend to tell a friend to us. And if you just joined us, we have you a treat. South African Music Award winner, Miss Candy Tsamandebele.
Our Woman Crush Wednesday.
Yes, she has released an album.
Oh
it is
my
a
God.
Wednesday. She has just released an album, 2 singles down the line. She's performing one of them later on today. Go Ekse. She was born in a village, Sidbank, in a musical family. No wonder she is here doing the things that the family does the most. And you look fashionable.
Thank you so much, dear.
Because you always look so good.
It's Manyaku at UD Fashion House right in Johannesburg. By the way, she's from Limpopo.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, like a girl for Limpopo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Miss Candy, I just want to know about this. Your album is titled Hupenyu.
Read it very well.
Hupenyu.
Hupenyu
Yes.
Unenge
Viri.
Yes.
I'm gonna assume that it means that life has ups and downs. The wheels of a bus goes round and round.
Okay, let me just forgive you by saying yes, yeah.
Well, what does it mean?
Hupenyu Unenge Viri means life, it's like a wheel.
Okay.
Remember, like today, I'm here, sitting right here with you guys.
Yeah.
You might come to Limpopo next time, or maybe, actually I come back again in Cape Town, only to find out when I knock in that door, or when you knock in that door, the lady, the MD of the company, it's hey. You know, so if namhlanje aningiphathanga kahle ngimele ngikhulume isiZulu or isiXhosa so that abantu bami bazozwa kahle ngoba mangakhuluma language yami kusofiwa. Yeah, so kungenzeka ikhuluma njenge life in general ukuthi you know what, no matter the position le ukuyo today, please play it well because you went to school for it, and don't komela abantu because mawuqoma sasa uwe.
Yeah,
definitely, man.
Yeah.
Your album is beautiful. Let's talk
Thank
about
you.
how is it different from the projects that you've released previously.
This one because it's Hupenyu Unenge Viri. I featured the guy called Bekezela from Zimbabwe. On song Siku Nesiku, I featured Noni D from Nigeria.
I love that
which
song, by
is,
the way.
Oh, thank you so much. I featured as well and Shoma Josie, she's there. On track Mazeze and Beni Mayengani Mr. Philip Kiani Stadium or Peter Mokaba Stadium. You know, and I featured Vomalaji and Makazi, our new upcoming great promising artist called Makazi. She's on the album as well, and the daughter of the late Peter Tinnett, and then she's there as a hip-hop star. And then to me as well, I featured a lot of people. Like, I need your 2 hours when you do the interview with me.
Speaking of 2 hours, you've got so much longevity in the industry. You've been here. I believe that Bonga Bandu Sebenze Nabogle album, they could learn a thing or two from you. Especially, it's the daughter of
the late Peter Tinnett. Her father, when he passed on, her mother was 2 months.
She was not
pregnant.
born then.
Her mother was 2 months pregnant, and as soon as like she gave birth to her, and they take her to school and everything, the girl on a matric, she started looking for me. Said, Mama Candy, you are the one who can help me, who understand the industry.
Yeah, Mama Candy, you do understand the industry.
So now you call me Mama Candy.
Sis Candy will sit better, ne?
Hi, sis Candy Gopi.
Mama Candy.
Candy girl.
Candy girl.
Candy girl.
Candy girl. You know the industry in and out, and there are these young people who are looking up to you and entering the industry, and we don't know where they're going. They don't know where they're going.
They're confused.
What words of wisdom would you give them so that in the future they're still sitting here and talking about their careers down the line, let's say 30 years later?
Like myself was sitting here for the first time as well, but being in the music industry for the past 25 years.
Listen to
working as a backing singer-songwriter, very hit songwriter. Like I don't just write. When I write a song, the song talk to the world, you know. Yeah, so it's to take it easy. Know who you are, what you stand for, and where do you really want to go, or where do you really want to see your music going. Are you guiding your people? Are you advising people? Are you giving them life? Like if someone was down, are you taking that person up through music, you know? And the first thing is to put God in everything that you do. You know, it might be, what I love about my God is that like even now I can just say, hey, my nigga, God, please lead me in everything that I'm doing. And God will bless you. You know, you can call him the way, as long as you know that is our amazing Lord, you know, of mercy. You know, so you are true to your culture. You love your culture. Why was it? And you've made us love your culture. Are you kidding?
I am telling you.
Are you kidding?
You're one of the people that made us love your culture. Why was that important for you when you go into the music industry? They could have easily changed and said you're gonna do pop and
they tried to.
Yeah, whatever.
They tried to. Me, I go say no. No, actually, I just love culture. You know, from the early age of 12, 14 years, my mom remember she was playing the percussion. And she was a lead vocal as well. So instead of going to Sunday schools, I'm like, I'm going to the traditional group. I want to learn more about my language. I want to learn more about the culture, the tradition. You know, that's when I get joined as Kaba. And from that day, I never looked back. And then I just take it easy. I know who I am, what I stand for, and where I really want to go. Even now, I know where I want to go. The vision that I see, I want to share that with you guys.
Okay,
you know?
Thank you for the invitation, because so Kokota and you better open for us. City Mama Kind.
Yes.
You know, speaking of going somewhere, I'm gonna ask you an unfair question.
Please.
You're an actress. You are a television
presenter.
You're also a musician.
And you're a fashionista as well.
And a fashionista. If you were to choose one out of these 4 things, which one would make the top of the list?
You know what, ne? My lady, boss, I call her boss lady. She wants, like, we're arguing when we talk about music and acting. I said to her, you know what, don't make me to choose. And then she said, I don't want to make you to choose between 2 because I know music is your first love. But now, in this side of acting, they love Candy. They said, when you chose the wrong
Career.
profession. You are supposed to be, your first love is in acting. I'm like, really? Never. Now I'm enjoying both of them. The important thing is that you have to make time for those. You must have the PR that is handling your diary.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right. Tell you what, when we return, you're going to perform for us your latest single. We cannot wait to dance and introduce it to XLR viewers. Otherwise, Kim, what do you
have for us?
So we are linking to a very, very exciting insert with Katrina Gates at UWC, who was mentored by Dr. Takalani, and they have been making latex gloves and latex condoms from the plant Guayule. Let's find out more, guys.
That's great. Instead of importing.
Hi guys, and welcome to another exciting insert for SciTech Wednesdays. I'm Kim Blanché, and today we are here at UWC, the University of the Western Cape. Now we're here to visit Dr. Takalani and one of the students that she's been mentoring, and she has mentored over 10 students in the past 5 years. Let's go and find out some more. So I'm sitting here with Katrina Gates, all the way from Ohio State University, and we are at the University of the Western Cape. Welcome, Katrina.
Hi, thank you for having me.
It's only a pleasure. So can you tell me a bit about the research you're currently conducting?
Yes, of course. So we're working with the Guayule plant this summer, and it produces latex and natural rubber. So we're trying to figure out whether a plant that's grown in a laboratory produces more latex or rubber, or whether the naturally grown plants do.
Okay. Can you tell me what a day in the life of Katrina looks like in the lab?
So in the lab, I'll actually walk you through it later today, but basically what we're doing is extracting latex from the plant by cutting it up and then putting it into a blender with some buffer solution, and then extracting latex from that.
So can you show me how you actually extract the latex from the plant?
Yes, of course.
Let's go. So Katrina will just be showing us what the process is and how things are done. Let's take a look.
So we normally start with the branch, and we like to peel all of the leaves off because there's no rubber or latex in that. So we use a knife, and I already removed part of the side, and the rubber is right there in like the green part. It's the white layer underneath that in the branch. And so you peel that off and you break it into little pieces, and I already measured out 100 grams of the branches in here. And so then, this is the fun part. You put it into the blender with a buffer that is potassium hydroxide, 0.2% with a pH of 11.
What does the buffer do to the actual branches?
It helps to pull the latex out of it in the blender.
Okay.
Yes.
And the leaves aren't important at all?
No, they
Okay.
contain not a substantial amount of latex or rubber. And so then for 1 minute, normally I blend it up.
So I'm standing here with Dr. Takalani from UWC, and we are talking about the Guayule plant. Can you please show me some of the products you've made using the latex?
Okay, I will show you. So I would love to start from where we purify the latex. As you can see, when Katharina was showing you all the process of extracting the latex from the plant, so this is what you get. If you look at it, the color doesn't really look good. Yeah. You won't even say that a glove or a condom will come out of this. Yeah. So what you have here, you have a mixture of the latex, you have proteins, you have water, you also have maybe a little bit of some impurities. So the most important step is you need to first purify your latex, and this is just a demonstration on how you do that. So we use what is called sodium carboxymethyl cellulase. What it does is it has a way of kind of separating your latex from all the other components, the water, the proteins, and so on. So if you look at this is actually this particular sample that has been combined with the buffer, which is the creaming agent. And then what happens is it will pull out up the latex, which is the whiter part, and then all the other impurities will be at the bottom. So what we do is we just take out all the other impurities, but you can see everything is coming out. The latex is also coming out. As soon as we reach there, we make sure that the latex doesn't come out. Then we put it maybe on the second round or the third round of purification until we come to the next one. So you can stop. Maybe the second step coming from this one. So you just want to make sure that everything else is not required in the latex, any impurities are not there. And this is the second step of purification. You add the same buffer, and as you can see, there's a separation, but in this case, we have more latex compared to the impurities. So that is what you have. And then you have that, so you get rid of all the impurities, and then your latex is remaining behind. And after that, what you will have is something like this. So that is your latex. That is where your rubber now is. For example, if you look at this particular one, this was also dipped into the latex. There are several processes which are involved in getting the final product, but this is exactly what you will actually kind of, you can pull it, it's very strong.
Thank you for joining in this exciting insert. I'm standing alongside Dr. Takalani and Katrina from Ohio State University, and we are at UWC, the University of the Western Cape. Guys, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook, let us know what you think, or give us a call on 021-448-0448. For now, bye.
Bye. Yes, man. Bye. That's Dr. Kim Blanché Adonis. She learned how to make gloves. She learned how to make condoms.
I learned how to clean up a river.
Come to Ekse and come collect your condoms from Kim.
She knows how to make them.
Yeah, and she's not doing them just for Jay. She's making them for you to use them if you are a person who does have a sexual intercourse. So make sure that you play safe with kids. She's energetic, she's vibey, she's everything, and everybody's jealous of us. Uti let me when we told her that Umama Candy, Sis Candy Girl that is gonna be on the show. Uti, let's swap jobs, you guys. And she's giving us crying faces. We do not think so. Let me give you something to cry about as well. If your music video did not make it this Friday, but you can submit them. Go Ekse@CapeTownTV.org. The 3 videos that made it this week is from Rikla Inyaniso. It's from Yellow Angel. This is Dope Nkosi, which is Voodoo World. And then we've got Wesley Abrahams. The title of the song is I'm Sorry. To vote for your favorite, hop onto our social media handles, and then you vote. The number 1 song is going to play out on Friday.
And of course, man, remember, we're celebrating all things National Science Week. If you're a big fan of that, the Iziko Museum of South Africa is giving free access to Iziko Planetarium and of course Digital Dome from Izolo and of course to the 4th of August. If you're a fan of that, make sure you're heading right now to Iziko Museum.
Have you been to the Iziko Museum?
I've been there so many times. I think it's 100 times in my life.
And it's beautiful.
It's a very beautiful and it's so diverse. That's one thing I love about
Guys,
that.
can you dance?
Yeah, yes. We can dance.
And Candy is ready for us to dance to her latest single, Well, you guys are welcome to join in, turn up the volume, and tell everybody that it's live. It's happening right here. This is Miss Candy. Do enjoy. From myself, Kim, and Sinalo, it's goodbye so long. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Mosake Diala na 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 na. Natinga utanyalwa na Bakai balisa balikomuyo Afana tinga utanyalwa kima Bakai balisa Natinga utanyalwa na Bakai balisa balikomuyo Afana tinga utanyalwa kima Hewa shile yukomu balisa you can sense like you man natinga Are you ready to jump? What? What? Are you ready to jump? Yes! What? But